This news program is proudly brought to you by
Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits
and Now Biscuits.
Landowners of the Nadsap International Airport not ready for the opening. Central Governor Rufina Peter visits 7 wards in remote Tapini LLG. And Gordon's bus stop in Port Moresby unsafe for city residents. A very good evening. This is National Emtv News. I'm Godwin Eki. Thank you for joining us. The legitimate landowners of the Nadsap International Airport in Lae, Morobe Province are not ready for the opening of the facility at Nadsap set for tomorrow, allegedly claiming that part of the lease payments were not done yet.
The Orog-Naron landowners of the Nawapo land where the airport is situated say a lease agreement between them and the state has not been honored. Simeon Taboli, assistant chairman of the Orog-Naron landowner group, says from 1973 onwards, they have been paid by the national government 5,000 kina every year following the lease agreement. Toboli said in the 1973 lease agreement, it states that the agreement shall be reviewed every 10 years, but from 1983 and to date, no review has been conducted. Toboli says in 1993, the government had ceased the lease payment and the landowners claim this was not made known. Toboli highlighted that the landowners had approached NAC and the Department of Lands and Physical Planning. However, to date, they have not been acknowledged as rightful landowners. Toboli told MTV News that they have created a blockade at the entrance of the new terminal building this morning and wanted answers from NAC and the government. Meantime, NAC has assured that they will address the landowners this afternoon. Natasha Ovoy, National, MTV News.
Meanwhile, NAC Chief Operations Officer in Lae representing the Acting Managing Director Joseph Kintau settled the matter by way of appreciating the landowners. He presented a cow, goods and 5,000 kina cash to the landowners this afternoon at the Nadsap Airport. The landowners acknowledged NAC for their response in showing that they listened to the landowners' plea. In the meantime, preparations are well underway and set for tomorrow's official opening. A heated issues to residents in Port Moresby is unsafe, where bus stops as the city sees a rise in bag snatching and pickpocketing, a suburb mainly name-dropping for such in Gordons. The criminal activities are usually caused by those who live outside of Gordons.
Gordons in Port Moresby plays a Grand Central Station role for many living in the Moresby Northeast area, as citizens commute through it to go to and from schools, work and even leisure outings. Hence, ongoing theft along that area is a concern for the masses. This was expressed by a Gordons resident, Veronica Gemo. Ms. Gemo, a teacher by profession, said most of the public disturbances, such as petty crimes, are caused by those who live outside of the Gordon suburb.
And for trouble like bag snatching, pickpockets, and then fighting, boys from outside, they come in to do that, and then they leave and they go. I mean, all man outside, so I can make him trouble now. All boys from me place, I see me every year.
She expressed that the male youth residents of Gordons in fact tried to keep the suburb area safe in assistance to the police.
So now all mangi to all cooperate all talk help him all so time all mangi outside so come like make him trouble or same all mangi area yet so run him all.
Ms. Gemo said an association the youths initiated for this purpose is known as the Gordons Youth Association, where the youngsters are assisted mainly by a trading center in the suburb. Another resident of Gordons who wished to remain anonymous said petty theft is happening everywhere else in Port Moresby, and it all rests upon the residents to take an initiative to help protect their bus stops where the police cannot. as the city is too populated to depend fully on the police for safety. This was a sentiment shared by the Internal Security Minister Pitasiama Lili Jr., who stated earlier this year that the current police-to-population ratio was 1 police officer to 1,845 citizens in the country. Natasha Ovoy, National, Emtv News.
One of the many spin-off businesses that the Porgera landowners are looking to fully establish in the Porgera is the Porgera Hydropower Project. According to the consultant for the Ari Group Holdings Limited, Carl Yalo, creating the hydropower project, it will be beneficial for the people of Porgera in the future, especially when it comes to providing electricity. One of the biggest issues business houses and individuals, to let alone education institutions and hospitals, have been faced with is accessing electricity or even blackouts that have led to causing inconvenience to businesses. A group of landowners from Porgera, under their umbrella company called Ari Group Holdings Limited, are planning to build a hydroelectricity project that would feed the entire district together with the mine once the project takes effect and completed.
Many or several different power supply options have been put to Barrick and New Porgera. We've seen, we've heard. Now what the landowners have done is quietly work with a developer since last year to develop the Cargill Hydro located in the Southern Islands province. And what you saw on the 28th of September was a video presentation showing the extensive work that has been done to date.
As consultant to the Ari Group Holdings Limited, Carl Yalo says having this facility built and completed will help alleviate the electricity problems that people are faced with every day. Not only will people have access to electricity in the district or the project provide power, but this time the hydropower project will be owned by the landowners.
We are ready to bid for the major contracts on offer. In the last 30 years, the landowners were told, yes, if you want a contract, go and get yourselves organized and then come and talk to us. And unfortunately, in the last 30 years, the landowners did not have the ability, did not have the capacity to be able to organize themselves competently and professionally so that they would be eligible for the contracts. And so they missed out. Now, what we are doing now is to make sure that those requirements that Barrick sets must be met. And that's what we are doing. We're building capacity.
He said the project is the way forward for the people of Porgera. He said this will help them in the future and something they can generate income from when the mine shuts down in the next 20 to 30 years. For the first time, the landowners through their Ari group of companies are now looking to invest in the hotel space, where the landowners are looking to own a hotel in Port Moresby. The name of the hotel will be called Lakatoy Hotel and will cater to the business community and tourists planning to visit the country in the future. For the first time, the Porgera landowners, through the umbrella company, the Ari Group Holdings Limited, are now planning to tap into the hotel business, where they will build a hotel in Port Moresby called the Lakatoy Hotel.
What we have done is we've brought international building architects together with experience in the Arab world, and we have put together a hotel design based on the Motuan legendary Lakatoy. You may see an hotel design behind me. It's called Lakatoy Hotel. Ideally, it sits at the waterfront, at the Isle of Port Moresby, so that when international guests, tourists, etc., fly in over head of Moresby, the first view that they will have of Port Moresby is the stunning image of our hotel.
According to the consultant helping the Porgera landowners, says this is the new way forward for the people, and through the Ari Group Holdings Limited, they will get to own several companies that would be 100% owned by the Porgera landowners.
The landowners have the financial capacity to be able to invest in a resource, in an infrastructure like this hotel, and so we are helping to guide them, give them advice, counseling, that you will be making a lot of money and you've got to think of the future, and the hotel investment is an ideal investment in that regard. The other investment that we have highlighted to the landowners is the twin tower of Palm Twin Towers. As we are all aware, presently the office buildings in Port Moresby are predominantly owned and rented out by the super funds.
They are planning to build buildings that will not only provide accommodation services, but office space as well. Carl added that empty land made available to ARI Group will be developed upon agreement and proper documentation before any businesses or projects can be developed for ARI Group of companies. You're watching National Emtv News. Stay with us. We'll bring you more stories after the break. You're watching National Emtv News. The reconciliation program in Goilala district of Central Province continued this week Friday, with Central Governor Rufina Peter visiting 7 wards located remotely within the Tapini LLG.
During these visits, locals revealed that this is the first time a governor of the province has visited the people and rolled out the reconciliation program. Governor Peter and her team traveled by chopper to reach these wards because of their geographical locations. Sopu Ward Councillor highlighted that his community still lacks basic services, one of which is the education sector. The school has not been registered and the teachers live in makeshift houses. For every ward visited, Governor Peter presented 10,000 kina each to support the reconciliation program.
Me harem tok where Councillor Honorable John Keruvem giving pinis lo heavy na wari blo yupla. By me talk of them first number 1 something. No can come 1-1. Ward member am sana plo maki yupla. Okay, ward plan blo yupla. We all get a heavy na worry you plagate, you know, I'll get a 5 pla most important one. 5 pla.
Governor Peter highlighted that her goal is to settle all local level governments in the Goilala and Woitape districts in reconciliation and for peace to prevail in order for beneficial developments to take place. Amanda Ilaitia, National Emtv News.
The people of Mala in the Kinjibi local level government in the district of Western Highlands province are calling for the arrest of the killers of one of their sons, late Lucas Tip-Tip. The 20-year-old Lucas Tip-Tip was killed at Tege, just outside of Mount Hagen City last week.
The people of Ward 11 in Mala, Kinjipi LLG, are mourning the loss of late Lucas Tip-Tip, who was a grade 12 student at Mount Hagen Secondary School. It was a heartbreaking story for the people when news started spreading on social media last week about a young man who was shot with a pistol at point-blank range and then had his face and neck chopped by 2 men in front of a kaiba at Tega. Ward Councillor Alphonse Day wept openly on Friday at the funeral area and called on Western Highlands Provincial Police Command, Mount Hagen City Authority and the local leaders of Tega to have the culprits apprehended and locked behind bars before late Lucas is buried. Councillor Tay made it clear that the deceased was an innocent young man and was a key witness to a previous murder case, who surprisingly got killed a day before he was to testify in court. The councillor demanded the people of Tega and Hagen Central to show reason as to why they keep attacking men from their district, as this was not the first incident.
Enough is enough. And I say enough is enough. Please, people provide them service. Put in your blood. Come up in your blood. Grow in your blood. Walk in your blood. Sell in your blood. And then you're turning back. Now you're killing people, young man.
Meanwhile, the father of the deceased, Nitkin Tip Tip, who is a prominent leader in Day District, said he did not want any trouble. All he wanted was to see the two suspects arrested and locked up behind bars to serve their sentences. He added he does not support any form of violence or retaliation by his son's peers. But the police must be seen to be doing their jobs to bring him peace, and that is by arresting the perpetrators sooner without any delay. Meanwhile, Western Highlands Provincial Police Commander John Sagom told MTV News that the identities of the two suspects are known and his men were investigating their whereabouts. Sagom warned that those who harbor, aid and abet these criminals will face the full brunt of the law. Amanda Ilaitia, National MTV News.
A young male secondary student from Koroba in Hela province has been kidnapped and murdered on Friday. Hela Provincial Police Commander Superintendent Joseph Tondop confirmed this in an exclusive interview with MTV News today.
Police investigations are underway on the recent murder of a young student who is from Fuka in the Koroba district. PPC Tondop told this newsroom that the case is a result of payback killing. PPC Tondop elaborates.
He was kidnapped in a car and they shot him. Someone shot him at the Ambulua Road towards Ayapuga. And then after he was shot, they cut him into, they chopped him up, and we attended to the scene on Friday. We took his body to the house. We are yet to establish what were the motives. But from information I'm getting now, I think it's in relation to some incident that happened in Mosby, I think last week.
He further appealed that the payback clashes that happen in other centers in the country should not be taken into Hela province.
The payback type, the payback issue of payback, we leave it to the police and the government. We will investigate these cases and have the suspect arrested. But in most cases, when they do the payback, it's the wrong person. They're killing the wrong person.
Police investigations are still underway on the murder of the young student. Grace Papiale, National MTV News.
Meanwhile, Hela PPC Tondop has given an update for the police operations of the province.
PPC Tondop stated that police have intervened in a recent tribal fight in Como and Hulia.
Yeah, there was a tribal fight there, which I managed to stop that last week. Police and DF soldiers are camping in the area, which is making presence felt. And I'm told, I think the commander on the ground has advised me that. And I've also advised him that we must fast track the issuing of preventive orders and then ceasefire, and we get them back to normalcy, normal life quickly.
PPC Tondop stated that so far Tari is at normalcy.
I hear some issues in Fuga in Koba. I have a section of defense and police mobile squad are based there. But otherwise, the whole of Hela, so far so good.
PPC Tondop also highlighted his visit to the 37 inmates of the Tari CS and addressed them.
They're special people, that we need to change them. They're the ones who come into conflict with the law, and so if we can change these people while they're in the CS, by the time they come out, they'll become our change agents. So that's the focus I'm going. I mean, that's the important part of this visit is for them to understand that there's life after. There's a good life waiting for you. It's only 6 or 7 months that you are spending in prison.
Grace Papiale, National MTV News.
National MTV News continues after the break with Trukai Sports. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. 3 divisions for men and women, including the Premier Divisions for both men and women from the Port Moresby Soccer Association, played their round 14 matches in Port Moresby.
Port Moresby Soccer Association Divisions 1, 2 and 3 played their round 14 games, with the Premier Divisions having played their round 13 matches today at Vicini Football Ground in Port Moresby. PMSA competition manager Joseph Ame gave an update on the competition.
We're in PMSA round 14 week, which people come week 14 PMSA draws. Within that week 14, we have premier teams whereby the normal rounds they will play. They will in the round 13 rounds, game which we have both man and Mary round 13 games this weekend. But with general rounds, we have 14 draws for this weekend. Now for a normal game round premier, we play at round 13 games for individual from Premier down to Division 3. And then from one of my youths, we have to accommodate because of 15 teams. Now we play slot them all within the week's time, now week 14.
Competition manager also appealed to the Port Moresby Football Association followers to support the PMSA and promote the football code in Port Moresby.
According to the competition manager, the PMSA teams have 10 more weeks to play before the competition ends. Louis Maingu, Trukai Sports.
A Division 1 team of the Port Moresby Soccer Association has received a sponsorship of a full set jersey from the Coward Lawyers at the Vicini Football Ground in Port Moresby.
Players and officials of the Amalabak Football Club have been motivated in their preparation for their match today as they received a full set jersey from the Coward Lawyers. Coward Lawyers representative had this to say when presenting the jerseys to the team.
Sponsoring jerseys, uniforms for clubs. One bell so. Club lo family at natu help more youths lo community lo street lo gero stage 1 so lo help more lo games all can involve all other activities
cutting down some of the petty crimes.
President for the Amalabak Football Club, Junior Paonga, appreciated the Coward Lawyers for sponsoring the team with the jerseys. He said this will encourage his team members to concentrate on playing sports.
Our lawyers are helping youths. Most of our youths are unemployed. The youths on the streets. They cannot look for money. They cannot find money. So they might end up in trouble. Maybe put them all play the sports. So maybe register him in a club or some Amalabak LPS FC, maybe register him lo or by take part in sports. Take part in sport na lusting ting no lara pla bigas something. Na maybe to big thank you lo Coward Lawyers lo look so lo youth so some street.
Louis Maingu, Trukai Sports.
Minister for Sports and Higher Education Don Pollier has announced the PNG men's national team couples that will take part in the second MSG PM's Cup that is scheduled for next month in New Caledonia. Minister Pollier made the announcement today at the Sejongai Stadium in Port Moresby.
The PNG couples are expected to travel out of Port Moresby on Thursday, the 5th of October, for the tournament in New Caledonia, set on the 8th to the 15th of October.
10 years of not playing the soccer in the MSG Prime Minister's Championship, 10 years laid off, and first time we played last year, 2022. And couple won. The championship was another, but we won. Congratulations to couple, that team that won. Now we are the reigning champions of the MSC Prime Minister's Cup. And we will be defending that. We must defend it. We must defend it strongly, with quality, with tactics, and with the football talent we have. I must tell you, I have strong confidence and belief in these young men over there. Those young men, I believe in them. I believe in the coaches, the coach and the assistant coach. I believe in the management team. They will definitely make Papua New Guinea proud.
Minister Polye also announced that this team is also preparing for the upcoming Pacific Games in Honiara, Solomon Islands in November.
Executive, the General Secretary of the FIBA Papua New Guinea, and everybody else who's involved in this, the coaches, the team managers, the executive, and most importantly, the players. I would like to congratulate him for being selected as a top player in Papua New Guinea to defend the cup that we have before you.
Grace Papiali, Trukai Sports.
Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
You're watching Trukai Sports. An Act of Parliament is to be introduced to Parliament which will regulate the commercialisation of the rugby league team in Australia to maintain sustainability when PNG bid for the 18th NRL team. The Minister revealed this at a news conference in Port Moresby.
To have PNG to be the 18th team in the NRL comes with various challenges of its own. Sustainability of the team going into the future is vital, as alluded to by the Sports Minister. Minister Polye revealed that he will introduce an Act of Parliament soon which will regulate the legal framework to ensure transparency and good management of funds to be put forthwith.
The commercial viability of the game that we must create. Very, very important. I cannot have a bid in Australia that can be played without the financial sustenance that must be given to the Papua New Guinea team to play continuously and prepare into the many years to come. That is one I'm already taking charge of. We've got a cabinet paper in place, looking at creating structures, of financial structures. I also would like to introduce an Act of Parliament that regulates the commercialization of the rugby league in Australia. So we have the money available to support the continuity of Papua New Guinea filling a team, a successful team all the time throughout the competition that we'll see in NRL.
Polye says lawyers have been engaged to work on this and further elaborated on the importance of this act.
I think 2 lawyers are working with the CEO. There's a cabinet paper that does put the recommendation in on the paper. It is in cabinet going through. Hopefully next week, I think I should have the cabinet have it approved. So that act will regulate, because you have to have, you'll be playing there. Most of the Australian players are professionals. They're paid. The SP hunters, the private sector does its best through SP sponsorship to have our players paid. We have to have our Papua New Guinea, the B team, we must have them paid also. But to do those things, I would like to have a proper legal framework in place so that the funding that is used and how it is managed, where it is raised, where it's spent, how do we manage the players, and the quality aspect of it, those must be properly regulated. Not just by doing it as a bid, but I think should be regulated under an act. That's why we would put all those things together. So we do proper raising of monies and et cetera, et cetera. I think it's an important entity.
Sharon Engnui, Trukai Sports.
Minister for Higher Education and Sports Don Polye revealed to the media that a program called Excellence in Sports and Academic Awards will be offered to students so to boost sporting activities across the country. Minister Polye called for collaboration amongst the people and government to implement the Go Rural, Go Global policy.
Under the Go Rural, Go Global policy, Minister Polye revealed that the PNG Sports Foundation is encouraging students at all levels of education to actively participate in various sporting codes to promote sports across the country.
We encourage school children to play, but from the grassroots level, from the primary to the high school, to the senior high school, to national high school, to the university. At the university, I'm putting a program called the Excellent in Sport and Academic Award. An award is created where those who excel in sport, but at the same time doing so well in academia, in the performance, when they come out of grade 12, there will be an award just like TESAS, ECAS, and IS.
Polye says a program will be offered and it will be called Excellence in Sports and Academic Awards.
This is the culture that I like to build in terms of health and fitness, and then all the various sports we develop. So, Papua New Guineans, I'd like to urge you to participate with me and with the government, the Mara Barroso government, on the Go Rural, Go Global. I work with Albert Veratau, who is the CEO of PNG Sports Foundation, work on the Go Rural, Go Global programs. I ask all the LLGs, local level governments who are probably to take charge of it, take ownership, all the local members to take charge of it.
He further added that sports promotes individuals' health and fitness and called for collaborations amongst citizens. Sharon Engnui, Trukai Sports.
That ends Trukai Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
For the next 24 hours, southern region, Port Moresby partly cloudy and windy, Daru windy and partly cloudy, Kerema rain drizzle overnight, then cloudy, Halatau partly cloudy with few showers overnight, Popondetta partly cloudy. In the Mamase region, Ley few showers, overnight drizzle, then cloudy morning, Medeng few showers overnight, then partly cloudy, Wewak brief showers overnight, then partly cloudy, Banimo some showers and thunderstorm. In the New Guinea Islands region, Loringa few showers overnight and cloudy, Kavieng mostly fine, partly cloudy, Kokopo and Rabaul partly cloudy with overnight showers, Kimbe and Buka brief showers overnight and partly cloudy. And in the Highlands region, Mount Hagen few showers and possible thunderstorm, then morning fog, Goroka, Kundiawa, Mendi and Wabeg, patchy rain drizzle, then morning fog.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Sunday, 1st of October 2023. From all of us here, pleasant viewing. Good night.
This news program was proudly brought to you by
Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits
and Gold Nuggets.